to another edition of the OHIO podcast. I am your host, Buckeye Boggs, a.k.a. the Podfather, and and we're thankful you decided to join us this evening for another discussion roundtable show. We are the official Ohio State podcast of Fansided and Scarlet and Game. Head over to scarletandgame.com. If you don't like the way our faces look, you can listen to us over there at scarletandgame.com or wherever you download your podcast. Go check that out. We're also the official Ohio State podcast of the College Huddle. Head on over to the College Huddle, where you'll find ourselves and 75 other of our closest friends from coast to coast. Today's episode is brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. Is your loved one recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living with dementia and needing support at home? A Place at Home Dublin provides home care supportive services like bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort of home. Learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call 740-472-8181. And with us this evening for the discussion roundtable is the home team, Cory and Chris. And tonight's special guest, the Shrock Star, is with us. Shaun Shrock is with us. Shaun, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Shaun Shrock. I have a show with TG on Thursdays on the Buckeye Boys. Lifelong Buckeye fan and just love to talk Buckeyes.
And that's what we plan on doing tonight. We have a spring game to dissect and talk way too important about because, all these decisions were made after yesterday's game, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Cory and Chris are like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun anyways to overreact anyways. I love it. But hey,
I
everybody.
never overreact.
No, of course you don't, Chris. Never. Not one time in your life have you ever overreacted. Not once. I will say this, man. It was an awesome tailgate yesterday. We had such a good time. I have got a special thank you video montage with pictures and everything that I made this afternoon. We will play that for everybody. It'll be on our YouTube channel here in a couple days for all of you. Just got to finish editing it, and we'll play that for everybody. But what a great time. It was awesome meeting a lot of you who are in the chat right now. Pleasure, guys, meeting a lot of you. And raising some money for 2nd and 7, and had some teachers had some folks bring some books. Raised $133. And and with Eric Osbeck's donation a couple weeks ago, we have now, I believe, $340 raised, Chris, for our next little free library. So
that's a pretty good start.
Well on our way. We are well on our way. All right, guys. Scarlet beat the Gray 50-31. It felt a lot like that old Drew Carey comedy show where the points really don't matter and they just make them up. That's what it felt like yesterday, at least to me anyways. But I tell you what, man, let's dive right into it. Shaun, you get to go up first since you're our guest. Give us your reaction and your thoughts from yesterday's spring game, man.
I was very pleased. I wanted to see how Julian was going to look, and I thought he looked great. I thought Keen Holst kind of looked shaky at the beginning, but he did rebound nice. And I think we can see that Tavian's got talent. It's just going to take him some experience and some time to get there. Very happy with the offensive line. I think that's going to be the strength of the team. Defense, they played pretty vanilla, so it's kind of hard to get a read on some of it. But I figure, once the season starts, we'll see them stunning and doing a lot more, give more looks than what we saw yesterday. Mylan Graham looks like a real ball player, so I'm excited.
Oh, this never ceases to amaze me. The Pod Mother spring game boyfriend. Don't forget to thank the man that kissed your wife's hand all day.
And he actually put the picture of it on there. That's great.
Oh my gosh. That is, yeah, so good. So good. Chris, your thoughts on the spring game yesterday?
I think from the offense, I was pleasantly surprised. You and I both, Eric, had kind of said that we thought this was going to be a defensive dominated game, but the offense went out and put up some numbers, and they looked awfully good. I thought the offensive line looked really good. It kind of leaves me wondering, Eric, a few years ago, we were all about Is the defensive line this good or the offensive line that bad? Maybe has me wondering a little bit the other direction. Is the offensive line really this good, or is our defensive line, once we get past those 4 starters, just that bad?
Mm.
But overall, I gotta say, Bo Jackson looked good. Mylan Graham's awesome. The quarterbacks, all of them had fairly decent games. Even Tavian, who went out there and threw 2 picks, looking a little bit like a freshman, which he is. I thought he recovered well, 11, 15, 116 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that was solid. C.J. Donaldson got the first rushing touchdown, by the way, Eric. And I thought he looked good.
Someone predicted that, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy who predicted that Max Clare would have the first receiving touchdown. So,
okay, just go ahead and toot it.
And if he would have been smart, he would have stayed on Fahim for the first interception, and then I would have had 3 in a row. But no, good showing. I think it's spring game for most people. I am coming away a little concerned about our depth on the defensive line.
Cory, your thoughts on the spring game, brother?
I freaking hate the spring game.
That's because you weren't there with us.
It would have been fun to hang out with you all for sure. I will not. Last time I went to a spring game, my favorite part of it was hanging with friends for sure. No takeaway from what you guys were doing at all. The actual game, you can't judge anything by it. It's so hard. It's fun to overreact about. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to see a little football. But I'm just reading Twitter yesterday made me want to blow my brains out. Like, oh my god, it's like I actually saw somebody say Tavion will never see the field at Ohio State. Literally saw that on Twitter yesterday. It's a spring game, you moron. He's a freshman. It's a spring game. He's probably even a little nervous.
No,
I know.
Cory, they had 45,000 people over there at Bell Fountain High School. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
Maybe 45.
And definitely it was the most prestigious high school in the country, clearly. Like Ohio State is of college football. Defense was so freaking vanilla, and people were freaking out about it. Not saying anybody here is. Sean brought it up. Of course, it was just. How do you gauge it? I just don't know how.
Even Ryan Day said we literally played a basic 2 high safety the whole game.
Exactly. No calls, no blitzes, nothing. Just let them go. And I think it was mainly an offensive showcase just for the fans more than anything. I liked how Julian's saying look, and I'll say so there's certain things you can take in a spring game that are like obvious no matter if it's game or if it's spring game. Like some of the throws he made on time that were he threw people open at times. That's what I wanted to see what Julian's saying. And people who are saying quick to say he's QB1, I think he is, but that's not to take away from Lincoln, who's vastly improved from 2 years ago, I think. And I think he's got a lot of good qualities about him. I just think Julian's got that ceiling that's so freaking high. Tavion's got the best arm on the team.
Oh yeah.
He's got a freaking cannon. There's some throws he made, especially one on the sideline. I remember. I can't remember who it was to, but it was a rope, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "That's a freshman, man. They don't usually make those throws when their bodies are that young." But he's just got a grown man body already. C.J. Jonathan looks quicker than he did at West Virginia because he's dropped 20 pounds. I love the fact that it just shows how advanced our weight room is compared to other schools. Because he's 240 at West Virginia, kind of, lumbering, kind of slow power guy. I thought that's what he'd be here. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. He's different now. So it changes the game a little bit. Offensive line looked good, but I don't know how much the defense cared. So it's just hard to gauge. Although I am proud of Austin Severial. He looks like he's going to be the starting right tackle. That was not on my bingo card.
Yeah.
Cory, let me jump in real fast.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
He dominated the line of scrimmage. I mean, to
Absolutely.
The point, he was blowing up our too deep on the defensive line, blowing the running.
He looks
backs.
all Big Ten already. I mean,
oh my gosh!
Again,
they,
it's a
they found something there. They really
Yeah.
did.
yeah,
100%.
and you know what? Who do you credit for that? Tyler Bowen, maybe? Maybe he came in and saw some film and says, I bet that guy could play right tackle, and then just tried him out there. I mean, who knows? Tyler Bowen so far is an A+ hire so far.
Yeah.
With his recruiting, the way the line looks in spring. I mean, again, it's a spring game. How do you know? But defensively, yeah, I can see the defensive line the depth being a little bit of a concern for sure. I think we have I'll tell you one thing: the future of the linebacker position is looking really good.
Oh
My
yeah.
goodness. Pettijohn and Peyton Pierce both look good. Safeties look really good. The future of the safety position is not going to fall off after Downs goes, even though he's a massive, he's a mountain on his own. Secondary looks okay, but I mean, they were kind of sticky on those receivers. Sometimes our quarterbacks had to make really freaking good throws. And I want to mention one last thing. Mylan Graham might end up being the most dangerous slot receiver in the country by the end of the year because sometimes he put Aaron Scott in just a freaking blender. And especially the one Julian Sain missed early on in the game. It was an easy touchdown if he hit him. Mylan made Aaron look bad. Just Aaron didn't jam up the line. He juked him and he just fell on the ground. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy's so freaking effortlessly quick and fast. You can't keep him off the field for nothing. I'm not trying to knock Brandon Ennis, but I'm like, dude, this guy is an explosion waiting to happen.
So do you think he leapfrogs him on the depth chart?
I think he will, if not right away, eventually, because he's just too good. He may not be the blocker Ennis is, but at some point you got to say, look, we're going to give up a little bit here to get the explosion out of him. So he just looks like a freak.
$1.99 super chat from Dylan Kuhn was the best part seeing me, even when I got lost.
Hey, get back to me, man. What's your schedule looking like? Come on, buddy.
Yeah, DK took an Uber from Target to the over to the Horseshoe and then walked around trying to find us. But he finally found us after the game. He didn't even get to go watch the spring game. But he got to hang out with us for a little bit, and and I got to see that stallion of a truck he drove from Dayton up here. So, yeah, it was the spring game was awesome. Good to see Roy. Roy came spring game too. Good to see you, Roy.
Yes, he did.
It was yesterday was here's what I'm so excited about, and I'm with you, Cory. It's hard to really gauge anything from a spring game, but the last 4 spring games that we went to, Chris and I were talking about this. We walked away from the spring game with serious concerns about the offensive line. And this time I'm walking away so jacked about the offensive line that I'm pumped. I'm just absolutely pumped about that because I know that you can really do some serious damage with a good offensive line in the trenches when it comes to running the football, pass protection, everything works better. These quarterbacks, at this point, whoever wins, awesome, because with this offensive line, they're going to make that quarterback look really, really good. Okay. And if you watch those first couple drives that Julian Sain had, it was running the football that then opened up the pass in a lot of ways because they were getting 8, 10, 12-yard gashes at a time. CJ wasn't getting touched, dude. I turned to Chris. I go, he's not seen holes like that in his entire career at West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
I'm none. And he's like, yeah, I'll lose another 10 pounds and run even faster if you guys make holes like that, guys. My gosh. So super excited about the offensive line. And the only concern I have is with like you brought up, Shaun, like you brought up, Chris, the defensive line, and even Ryan Day in the post-game press conference, he did make a statement. He said that they might have to go to the portal to get some defensive line help. So that very well could happen after that. Yeah.
Let me butt in real quick. The only, ironically, the one that looked best was the one from Idaho State.
Yeah, he did. And
now
Logan, he was also going against like our second and third string offensive line when he was in. But
what's your point? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but we lost Shaun. Hopefully he's able to jump back in here real quick. Will Buck, St. Clair looked like a smaller Pryor. What do you think?
He's a much better passer than Pryor. Much better.
Agreed.
Maybe this is blasphemy, but I'm sorry. Terrell was left a lot to be desired as a thrower. So
Yeah, okay. I got you. I got you. All right. Todd even says he reminds him physically of Terrell Pryor. So some similarities.
physically,
there.
it makes sense. I agree with that because he physically, Travian or sorry, St. Clair's is ridiculous. It doesn't even. I mean, it's like is he 18? Are you sure? Are you sure? Is the birth certificate real?
Yeah.
$2 super chat from Bobby Mack. I should have gotten a DK's autograph yesterday. It's not worth anything. He'll tell you that. There it is. I even predicted it. It's not worth anything. That's funny. All right, guys. Cory, if you really, I know you love the spring game so much, so you're really, really gonna love this. Let's hand out some Buckeye leaves.
Just Buckeye leaves for everybody. Just why not? Just throw them out. Who cares?
Oh, come on. Oh, you know you want to. Man, I'm really behind the chat. Sorry, guys. I need to catch up. All right. Here we go. Let's start with our offensive player of the game. We'll go Chris, and then we'll go Shaun, and then we'll go Cory. So go for it, Chris. Offensive player of the game.
Oh man. I'm not going to make it a quarterback.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really torn between Mylan Graham and Bo Jackson. Bo had 88 yards on 13 carries. That's almost 7 a carry. Had a touchdown. Mylan had 104 yards receiving, 49-yard touchdown. You know what? I want to give it to Bo because that's who I predicted, but I can't do it. I got to go Mylan Graham.
All right.
I was gonna go Mylan Graham too, but since Chris took him, I'll take Sane. I thought Julian looked really well.
Okay. Very well. Cory.
You know what? Give it to the big boy up front, Austin Severold, right tackle.
Nice. I like that. I'm glad someone sees that.
I love it. Like you, Eric. I love seeing the offensive line look good.
Yes. Very, very much so, man. It just makes this whole summer so less stressful for me. I'm not gonna lie. All right, defensive player of the game, Chris. Oh, I guess I should give mine, shouldn't I?
You could, yeah.
All right, is my wife still in the chat? Because she will tell you the entire game. Whenever Bo Jackson touched the football and he did something, I would say Bo knows how to do this. Bo knows how to do that. So I'm gonna go Bo Jackson. He knows how to be the MVP of the spring game. Bo knows that. All right, Chris.
Please not make that a thing, please.
Come on.
That was a thing when we were talking recruiting, Cory.
Oh no.
That is specifically why Eric wanted him on campus.
That makes sense. Actually.
It wasn't even about the talent; it was about the marketing.
Although
I'm pretty sure Nike's going to come in and sue us at some point.
Bo knows the OHO podcast.
Phil Knight does need our money, yes.
Well,
all right, so defensive player of the game. A lot of guys we could have chose from, I guess. But I think every time I heard anything about a tackle, it involved Peyton Pierce. So I'm going to go with Peyton Pierce.
Shaun.
I'm going to go with Fahim Delane. I thought he looked great out there, and he had an interception.
He did look good. Cory.
I'm going Peyton Pierce. I'm going along with Chris. He actually tore up a couple guards and a couple plays there on the run plays and just made the tackle. That guy's got a future.
Yeah, he does. I'm going to go with Peyton Pierce as well. I thought he looked fantastic, and he made the first tackle of the game when you were actually allowed to tackle, and
he didn't stop after that, Eric.
No, it was now I know why James Laurinaitis likes him so much. That became evident yesterday.
And I love the fact James is turning into an A+ coach. I am so happy about that.
Oh, I did not realize that. You're right, Bobby Mack. Every time I do that, Bo knows I am telling my age. It's true.
Well, you look your age too, so don't worry about it.
Ooh. Handsome.
Think we can get him to do a football card with the shoulder pads and the bat on his
Come
shoulders.
on.
He needs to wear the old school shoulder pads that are like just mountains on your
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah. Give him with the neck roll.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
him?
Neck roll, exactly. And that big face mask. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the defensive player of the game, Chris.
We just did the defensive.
Yeah, we
player.
just
Oh,
did defense.
sorry. I put him in the wrong category. How about we go with the offensive play of the game, Chris?
Offensive player of the game. Give me Julian Sands' pass to Max Clare for the touchdown.
That was good.
Julian Sains TD pass to Max Clare. That was a good pass, wasn't it? What do you guys think of Max Clare? Let's stop right there and talk about him for a second.
I think our tight end room looks better than it has in years.
I tell you what, when the opposing teams are going to have to play them two high safeties, split safeties, they're going to be in trouble because our guys are going to eat. I mean, we got two tight ends. I mean, even Thurman looked great too. I mean, putting them down the seam.
Will Kazmarek didn't even play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This tight end room is awfully good.
Keenan Bailey, man. He has built this tight end room.
Mo Foster.
Yeah, he actually walked right by us the other day, Corey. He and Brian Hartline walked right by us going over to the Woody from the shooter.
I think Keenan was in the booth with Brian, wasn't he?
I
think that was Keenan. So that's kind of crazy that if Brian this season is in the booth, which makes sense, that his key is the guy who's spotting things for him. So
Mo Foster says, thanks for the free t-shirt and hot dog after the spring game for the kids. The two girls wore them on the trip home. You're welcome, dude. Appreciate you swinging by, man. Appreciate that very much so. All right, let's see. I think we're up to Shaun. Shaun, your offensive play of the game.
I like the pass to the touchdown to Mylan Graham when he just took it to the house.
Gotcha. Mylan Graham's TD reception. Yeah, he's got some wheels, dude.
He also had another great one where Shane threw it to him in tight coverage and he made that catch. I mean, the defender was on him and he just fit it right in that tight window.
Let me ask you guys this question. Who does Mylan Graham remind you of the most?
I know everybody wants to say Garrett Wilson. I think he's quicker and faster than Garrett Wilson myself. But I can't think of a comparison right this second because he's in his own league. And it seems like every year we have a guy, or not every year, but most years we have a guy kind of like that who doesn't quite pan out. So I don't know who to compare him to right now. But I wouldn't say Garrett Wilson, in my opinion, though. People are just automatically going there.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson would have been my first thought. But honestly,
I was going to say Garrett Wilson, but
I think
like Corey said, people have been comparing him to him. But I think you're right, Corey. I think he is a little faster than what Garrett was.
He's smooth, man. And that touchdown run you mentioned, Shaun, it's just like he just jogged there and he's still outrunning everybody. It was nuts. It's like I knew he was an athlete. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knew that. But when you finally see him on the field fully developed physically, you're like, okay, he's a problem.
Joey Galloway.
Oh, that's a big comparison right there.
I think Joey was a little bit bigger, wasn't he? I mean,
yeah, Joey's 6'2", I think, but yeah.
I mean, but stock year wise, I mean, like ripped wise.
I'm talking like gliding.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And Joey could fly.
Corey's tasting it. He's chewing it around in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because it's this quickness that impresses me. That miss in the end zone with Aaron Scott covering him, it just was ridiculous. It didn't even his video game watching him just like, yeah, whatever. You're gonna go down and I'm gonna be open.
Will Buck says Terry Glenn.
That's not bad. He's a little faster than Terry, but and Terry was fast. But Terry made me a Buckeye fan. I love Terry Glenn so much. Rest in peace, by the way. God bless him. But dude, I was like watching the Buckeyes because of my dad. But then Terry Glenn had that breakout year, and I'm like, wow, he's a freak.
Ooh, Kenneth says, give me a Terry Glenn mixed with a little Olave and Garrett Wilson.
That's
quite the cocktail.
That's a milkshake there, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so quick. I just don't know who to quite compare him to.
Lee's saying Joey wasn't quite 6 foot. Now I got to look it up. How tall?
Maybe I'm
was
wrong.
Joey?
Yeah, I thought he was 6'2".
How tall was Joey Glenn?
Joey Glenn.
No, not Joey. What am I?
You're
What am I doing
comparing
here?
to, not are you
Yeah,
combining
well,
to?
we said milkshake, and next thing you know, I'm putting names together. Joey Galloway. Let's see. Let's see how tall he was. Joey Galloway was 5'11".
Wow, I was wrong.
I thought he was taller.
He looked
He's
taller, at the
he
time.
might be standing on something when he's on a little box when he's on ESPN. Give him a couple more inches, All right, let's move on here. Let's see. I think we're up to Cory's offensive play of the game.
Well, Shaun actually mentioned it. That tight window throw from Sayan to Mylan Graham, that is NFL all over it right there. Because quarterbacks have to be able to make that throw, and God bless Graham be able to catch it in traffic like that. But for Sayan to put it on time, right on his number, right there with the guy draped all over him, that gave me so much confidence in Sayan. Because I mean, we've been saying it all off season, or all season, and then leading into the off season, we didn't really know what to think of Sayan yet. That throw jumped my confidence from like a 4 to an 8, just because it's like that is NFL caliber all day, every day, and I couldn't believe. I mean, I don't. It's like we haven't really seen that throw since C.J. Stroud, so I was very, very impressed.
There it is. Santonio Holmes. That's the comparison. That to me that feels right. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let's move on to our defensive play of the game, Chris. Chris, can't hear you. All right. We'll move on to Shaun, your defensive play of the game.
I like Inky Jones's interception. I thought that was a heck of a pick.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to go with Peyton Pierce rock on the offensive lineman and getting the tackle because you don't see, even when our linebackers are getting better, you don't see that extremely often. And honestly, I saw it more from Lathan Ransom than I did our linebackers at times. But even though Cody Simon kind of showed it towards the end of last year, but that Peyton Pierce play reminded me of old school Schlegel, Carpenter, AJ Hawk linebacker play from Ohio State.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the Fahim Delane pick.
Right. No. I love it when we have multiple picks on things, guys.
Me too, because it makes
you three different picks. Not bad for a defense that supposedly played terrible, right?
No,
Well, I think the scoring is so screwed up. Shaun, you need to turn your volume down a little bit. Someone in the chat said your volume's a little loud, a little hot. The scoring screwed up because they got what was it, 3 points for a 3 and out, and then you got 1 point if you forced a punt, but it wasn't a 3 and out, and then it was I forget, was it 1 point for a sack or 2 points for a sack, 2 points for an interception? Like, it was really, really hard for the defense to score points, man. It just didn't feel fair. So, and I'll tell you, like, even when they got that pick and he was running down the sideline and Tavian knocked him out of bounds, all they got was 2 points for the interception. They could, you know what I mean? It was like
they should have got 3 for that because interceptions and fumbles were supposed to be 3.
Yeah.
3 and outs are supposed to be 3. The sacks were supposed to be 2, and then the forced punts 1.
Yeah. Unless they got a 3 and out and it was 3 points. So it was, I mean, unless you got a 3 and out defensively, it was kind of like there's and then one possession, there's 7 points. You're like, wait a second, come on. And why is the special teams get points to the offense then at that point? You know what I mean? It's kind of a moot point in my opinion. But anyways, what did you guys think of Brian Hartline's debut as a play caller? I'll start with you, Cory.
Oh, thank you.
You smiled, so I thought maybe you wanted to go.
Look, how do you gauge it with a defense that can only make 2 or 3 calls, right? I mean, he didn't have to adjust. He didn't have to oh man, let's play a chess game. It wasn't a chess game exactly. They were playing I don't know what they were playing, but it wasn't even checkers. It was that vanilla. So, but I'll tell you one thing. I think it's good that Hartline keeps getting these reps as a play caller. I think he looks more promising right now than he has in the past. I'll give him that. I just, you want to point to the success of the offense, and I think it's what I think's good, and I'll say this because I've seen this in past spring games where our quarterbacks leave a lot to be desired. Even the good ones. Justin Fields is a good example. Dwayne Haskins, the year he was a starter, was like terrible that spring game. Joe Burrow was good. Haskins was terrible. All three quarterbacks flashed. They all had moments. I know Tavian with the 2 picks, everybody's like, oh, freaking out about it. But he's 11 of 15 for crying out loud. He rebounded, played pretty well. I think that bodes well, in my opinion, for Brian Hartline, because as vanilla as they played, at least the offense was successful. Because my goodness, if they were that vanilla and we couldn't move the ball, I'd be like, okay, red alert. Something's really, really wrong here. So I think Hartline, he learned a lot from his last venture into play calling. He's been learning a lot since with guys like Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, grooming him to be the play caller. I think he's ready. And I'm not saying there's going to be bumps in the road and clunkiness along the way, but I just think you saw a lot of good things yesterday in the spring game anyway, even though you can't really gauge it too much. I come away more confident. I'll put it that way. Long-winded way of saying I come away more confident.
Chris?
I thought that they moved the ball around quite well. Several players got a chance to make catches. I thought the run game did very well. So for me, I think that, and you mentioned it, Eric, we're so used to seeing the pass used to open the run. It was nice, and I'm sure it won't be this way come the season, but it was nice to see the run used to open the pass up a little bit. And who knows, maybe it will be that way this season. I don't know. But I thought that he had, the right packages for the right guys who were in at the time. And, I'm very optimistic. Again, you can't take a lot away given the restrictions on the defense. But, I thought it looked solid. I think he's got a bright future.
Shaun, what do you think of Brian Hartline's debut as a play caller in the spring game?
I thought he got in a nice little rhythm going there. I thought Julian got in a nice rhythm. I thought he was calling some really good plays. He got the offensive line was moving the ball pretty well, running the ball. But like Cory said, we're playing against a vanilla defense, so it's kind of hard to really give a fair judgment. But honestly, though, I thought he got in a good rhythm and it looked pretty good. It's promising.
One quick thing, Eric. You know what I liked about the run game? A lot of quick runs, not a lot of slow developing runs, from what I could tell. And I hope that's the future, because good Lord, there's going to be stretch runs, but it's just nice to see CJ just hit the hole and go.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think when he got the ball and he's like, the Red Sea, his eyes probably were like, I haven't seen this since high school. It's like a fat guy walking into Krispy Kremes and the lights on and them donuts are being made fresh. I'm like, yes, sir. I don't mind if I do. I can just drive a truck through that thing, man. I couldn't get over that, dude. I was like, holy smokes, those holes are huge. Yeah, I thought Brian Hartline. And even Ryan Day said this in the post-game press conference. He got in a rhythm as a play caller with the quarterbacks. And, if there's anybody who understands as a play caller how important it is to be in step with your quarterback, it's Ryan Day, right? And if Brian Hartline needs to establish that relationship with whoever ends up being the signal caller at Ohio State, that they're on the same page and they are in tune with one another. I think TG said it earlier. See if I can find her comment there. I thought it was really good when she said, Brian H., I think, improved, and it's more about establishing a base. So we saw him be successful. Now, albeit against a very Manila defense at times that was purposely being set up, I believe, to make the offense feel good about what they were doing in the passing department. And it just so happened the offensive line was blowing that defensive line off the ball every snap as well in the running department. Bobby Mack with another $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. He said SWD also looked good out of the backfield. Sam Williams-Dixon. Yeah, he did. That's a great point, and it was on my to-do list here to ask these guys. I think it's pretty evident that C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples are our 1-2 punch this year at running back. even though James didn't get a ton of carries yesterday. And why would you at this point? But who's the third running back? Is it Sam Williams-Dixon, or do you think it's Bo Jackson? Shaun?
I think it's Bo Jackson. I think he gives you more. He's got the speed and he's got the power. As long as he can stay healthy, I mean, that's been his big knock in high school, where he didn't play as much because he had some pretty bad injuries. But yesterday, I mean, he was so explosive. I mean, going through the hole, he was hitting the hole, and he was flying through it. He's got that power to him. I go Bo Jackson. I think he's going to jump Sam Williams-Dixon in the pecking order.
Chris, you agree?
I do agree. And Shaun mentioned the obviously the speed, the power, but at the same time, let's also remember that you've got Bo Jackson, who's going to be younger and still going to, he's younger. Dixon's a sophomore. I think you get an extra year out of Bo Jackson and you get him ready now, because this is the guy who you're going to anticipate, if not next year being in your two deep, then definitely, the year after that being kind of the guy to lead this team, I think.
Do you put any stock into the fact that Sam Williams-Dixon went to the portal and
I do.
then came back for a reason, though?
My thought is he probably did, but at the same time, I also feel like there may be something to the fact that him going in the portal could hurt him. Because I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but maybe you question his loyalty to the program a little bit. Yeah, he came back, but why did he come back? Did he come back because they went out and made him an offer to bring him back? Or did he come back because there was nothing better out there for him?
Don't have the answer for that right now. What do you think, Cory?
Did you see what Amari Abor said today?
Yes.
Where he said it was the worst decision he ever made, listening to the wrong people. He thought he'd get more money. And Chris
He's
obviously knows
that. He's back in the portal,
Yeah, and I just wonder if I don't know any. I don't know. I'm just speculating. What if somebody like him talked to Sam Williams-Dixon and said, "Listen, just because you're getting promises elsewhere doesn't mean it's a better jump." I think that's possible, because even Sam Williams-Dixon said, I was listening to the wrong people when he jumped back out of the portal to come back. In my opinion, I agree with the logic. It should be Bo Jackson, because I think somebody in the group chat said something along the lines, CJ's here 1 year, you want to get somebody prepared to be that 1-2 punch with James Peoples in 26. That makes sense to me, because I don't think Sam Williams-Dixon is ever going to be a guy you just lean on. But I actually wonder if Sam Williams-Dixon offers that change of pace from Peoples and CJ, guy out of the backfield who can catch the ball, stuff like that, a little bit more of a scat back that you can use with different personnel and things like that. And maybe that's all they do with him, and Bo's the number 3 guy and Sam is more of just a package guy. It's possible. I don't know right now. I think Bo makes the most sense, but for some reason constantly heartbroken in me, coaches doing things that don't make any sense to me, it'll end up being Sam. That's how I feel about it.
Will Buck, speaking of portal, who is going, who should be going, and who might be coming? And then right along with that, since we're talking about Amari Abor, Tyler says, would he come back, add more depth to the defensive line? Ryan Day talked about getting another defensive lineman. Would you bring him back, Cory?
I would. Why not? Ryan Day knows that this is the landscape of college football. Look what happened with the Tennessee quarterback, which I think is hilarious. His name is Iamaleava or whatever. And he ended up leaving.
I'm leaving.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, I know. But that's just a landscape. I don't think Ryan Day would hold a grudge against him or anything like that. I think he'd welcome him back with open arms. Say, hey, you got bad advice. Now welcome back to the program. Now you're gonna have to earn your spot, of course, but you can provide some depth, especially at edge where we don't have a ton of depth. Or actually, I think it's more interior. We don't have the depth. But that being said, it's just I think he'd welcome him back. But I wonder if he's going to be searching for a D tackle more than anything.
I think so. Real quick, would you bring him back, Chris? Yes or no?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A guy who already knows the program. Yeah, he's got to earn his way back, but I mean, he's a need guy. So yeah.
As long as he didn't cause any problems when he left. I mean, as long as he wasn't a cancer in the locker room. I mean, we really need D-line depth. I think that's the one area we need more than anything. So I would, as long as he wasn't going to hurt your culture.
Agreed. All right, guys. any worry at all on who are you afraid we might be losing somebody? And I know we don't want to talk about specifics unless you want to bring up a name, or it's really hard for me to think we're going to keep every single person in that defensive backfield. It's so loaded.
Do we want to even speculate on who or no?
If you want to, you can bring up a name, but I don't even. I have not heard any name even brought up in the rumor mill. Not one single name yet. So maybe one of our 300 kickers that never get to play. Maybe I don't know.
Fielding looked good yesterday.
He looked. Hey, listen, he got a new nickname yesterday. The announcer accidentally called him Field Goal.
Field goal, yeah.
He called him
as long as he can
fielding,
make them.
Yeah,
he's like
exactly.
field goal by field goal, fielding. I was like, there's a new nickname. Mika says Jason Moore.
Yeah. That's a thing, which is
Why?
Scary because
They keep saying he looks good and then he never plays.
That's a position we actually need depth in. He's gonna play.
Seems like he'd be in the 2 deep, doesn't it?
You would think.
he should be probably right behind Edric, I'd think.
I think we're definitely losing a tight end. We got like 8 of them now, so I don't see them all staying.
But they all look good.
I don't want them to leave. I'm just saying. I just can't.
So Cory, who do you think it is? Do you think it's going to be Max
Case
Blount?
Merrick?
Do you think it's going to be Case Merrick? Do you think it's going to be Johnny Thurman?
I think Thurman will be the guy if anybody's going to go.
Think he goes down to South Carolina with Air?
LeBlanc.
I'm not sure. Maybe that would make the most sense. I would think they would take him in a heartbeat. I don't want him to leave.
No.
Nate Robertson even looks good.
Yeah.
Like,
he had 4 catches yesterday? Didn't he?
Exactly.
They all look good. Even LeBlanc. Sean mentioned possibly LeBlanc. He had a catch too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I feel like in the spring game, we always throw the ball to tight ends for some reason. I remember when, was it Marcus Ball? Remember him? He had like 100 and some yards in the spring game. And then I think that year he got to a total of maybe 200 and some yards total the whole season. So this
is a national. This is a traditional yearly conversation. Oh, the tight ends this year will blow up, and I'm like, yeah, well, Cade Stover is the only one who's blown up in the last 10 years.
Well, I think that's going to change this year for sure.
I hope so. Because Claire, you cannot waste Claire. If you waste Claire, I will be disappointed in this coaching staff.
If you waste Claire, you'll never.
You and Dylan Kuhn both.
You'll never get a top tier tight end again if you waste Claire.
I mean, he's
no one will come here.
NFL written all over that guy. Come on.
Andre Green, after yesterday's game, who's the next Buckeye to lose their black stripe? Fahim Deline.
Yep.
That's my guess.
That's a
what
good
you guys
guess.
think?
Or Anky Jones.
I think
maybe Pettijohn. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What up, Brian? Good to see you, man. Any other questions about the spring game I could throw in here real fast before I ask the big one and make you all incredibly angry at me?
Sweet.
Nice.
I haven't been angry in like 20 minutes. Let's go.
The show's only been going on for 45 minutes, Cory. So what were we talking about 20 minutes ago? All right. I threw a poll out there this morning on our social media. Who's going to start game 1 against Texas? Overwhelmingly, it was Tavian St. Clair. No, just kidding. It was Julian Sain. Overwhelmingly, it was by over 80%.
Hey, Tavian's never going to see the field, so
the way I worded it was who starts against Texas, and your options were Julian Sain, Lincoln Keenholz, someone else is how I worded it. And yes, there were 2 people who voted for
Nico?
someone. We'll get there for someone else. However, overwhelmingly Julian Sain. So I'm going to pose the question to you guys. I'll start with you first, Sean. We'll go around, then Chris and Cory to wrap up here. Who starts game 1 against Texas?
Julian Sain, hands down. I think he looked the best. I think he has the highest ceiling too right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Shaun here. I'm going to go with Julian as well. Although I don't think it's an overwhelming thing. I think this competition goes through the summer because I think Lincoln has improved a lot. But I'm also with Shaun on the idea that I think Sain's ceiling is just a lot higher.
I think it's definitely Julian Sand, and I think the biggest reason is he was making routine throws that Lincoln was missing yesterday. And I don't know if that's going on all spring or not, but stuff like little out patterns that are 7 yards, Julian Sand can make them. Lincoln was overthrowing a couple of them. That's a difference between 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 10. I think stuff like that is why Ryan Day will take what he feels will be the safe bet in Julian Sand. That being said, if Lincoln stays, we got a pretty good backup.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be Julian Sane. I'm still holding to that, but like I stated, I think coming in this year, the idea that everybody had was Julian Sane was here, Lincoln Keenholz was down here, and it's a little bit closer than what everybody thought, I think. However, at the end of the day, they're not going to tell you who's the starter for a while because of this right here, Bobby Mack. Or not that, but where was it? Does Will Buck's question? Does Keenholz stay? The answer is yes. They cannot afford to lose Lincoln Keenholz. They can't afford that right now. So they're going to let this thing go out for the foreseeable future. And the reason being is twofold. He doesn't want either one of them to go to the portal. Our depth in that room can't get there. And I'll say this too: if Julian Sane ends up being the starting quarterback and Lincoln Keenholz stays to be the backup in 2025, I believe Ohio State might have one of the best backups in all of college football in 2025.
And Eric, I think they'll have packages developed, kind of like we saw with Devin a few years ago. I think they'll have packages developed maybe on the goal line, things like that, where they can exploit his athleticism. So I think Lincoln, even if he stays in his backup, he's gonna get reps. He's gonna get game time.
And Troy hits the nail on the head. Lincoln would be a fool to leave. Sane is kind of on the smaller side. God forbid something happen, we will need the depth. Lincoln Keenholz can still lead this team to the college football playoff. If he's the starting quarterback, after what I saw yesterday, I still believe this offense and this team under Lincoln's as quarterback can still make a college football playoff. I don't doubt that. So it is important to leave him here because God forbid, what if there is an injury? Great point, Troy. Cory, were you
You
going
can
to say
pull a
something?
Cardale.
I'll be honest with you. I think Lincoln reminds me a little bit of Will Howard skill set. He's a really good athlete. Solid arm, not phenomenal arm, but solid. He's got leadership potential and things like that. I actually do think Lincoln could lead us to the playoff if, God forbid, Julian go down. Not to mention, for Lincoln's sake, if he should stay, because he's going to get to play a little bit here and there at Ohio State, whether it's mop-up duty or whether, God forbid, it's an injury or something like that. And next year, I know if he wants to go on and be the starter, because Julian, if he starts this year, you figure he'll be the starter next year, obviously. Lincoln will have plenty of film to show how much he's improved, and he can go on and be a starter at a solid program the next year. I could see like an Oklahoma wanting him or something like that for sure. I think Lincoln's best bet is to stay and be the backup and get playing time, keep developing with Ryan Day and company and Bill Fessler, and then go be. And if that's where the wins take it, go be a solid quarterback for a big program. He's not an Akron guy. He's a guy who can play at a solid program.
Now, guys, I got a question for you, quick. Do you think they put in a package since he can use his legs like they did with Devin Brown 2 years ago, and have him go into the goal line, maybe some wildcat packages? Because Sane really doesn't show that part. He has that part to his game.
Yeah, I personally think they do, Shaun. I think that they do those goal line packages, even though Sane is mobile. And actually, that's one of the things I really liked about him yesterday was the way he commanded the pocket and was able to move around. But he's a little small for me to enjoy him out there running. So yeah, I think and especially in the goal line situations, or if you need first and 1 or 2, or I mean that's third and 1 or 2, that might be a position where you bring him in.
Well, let's remember, guys, Ryan Day is huge on his starting quarterback running the football. So
Just ask CJ.
exactly.
So what I'm hearing you say is we keep Lincoln around for the tush pushy. Yeah?
Kind of.
Why not?
I mean, he can throw the
Corey's
ball.
like, that was really an uncomfortable comment, Eric.
I think we got a little too liberal with that one.
All right, guys. We've been dancing around the topic. We're gonna come right back and we're gonna tackle it. Hang tight, everybody. We're gonna 2 minutes. We got a couple commercials, and then we're gonna jump right into the big news of the day.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. The OHIO podcast is thrilled to partner with Export Mouthguards, the innovators redefining protection in contact sports. Introducing the Ninja Pro Mouthguard, the strongest and most advanced mouthguard on the market. Engineered by dental experts, it's designed to deliver elite protection with a sleek, low-profile fit. Made with carbon fiber and multi-layer construction, it's impact tested to keep you safe from even the hardest hits. But that's not all. The Ninja Pro is 3D printed for 100% custom fit, offering unbeatable comfort and security for any athlete. From football to MMA, dominate your game with confidence while safeguarding your teeth and jaw. Getting started is easy. Use our home impression kit to create your custom fit and enjoy prepaid shipping. It's protection delivered right to your door. Plus, with a 1-year warranty and 100% satisfaction guarantee, and proudly made in the USA, the Ninja Pro is your ultimate defense on the field or in the ring. And here's the best part. When you visit exportguards.com, use promo code OHIO at checkout to get 20% off your purchase. That's right, 20% off elite protection made just for you. Protect your game, protect your future. Choose Export Ninja Pro Mouthguards, where innovation meets protection. Head to exportguards.com and use promo code OHIO today.
The OHIO podcast is brought to you by Mastermind. Mastermind specializes in 360-degree high-definition mobile video mapping, GIS integration, and traffic safety studies. Mastermind cares about traffic safety and keeping you safe on the roadway. Visit Mastermind at onlinemastermind.com. All right, we want to thank our sponsors, including today's episode, which is brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. Is your loved one recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, or living with dementia and needing support at home? A Place at Home Dublin provides home care supportive services like bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort at home. Learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call 740-472-8181. I actually went and visited them this past week in their offices in Dublin. Nice people, great people. We're thankful to be working with them, and we're thankful for their support. And by any means, if you have a need, a loved one who has a need, you need to give them a call, guys. Absolutely, let them help you out. 740-472-8181. All right, let's dive into it, guys. Big news from this week. Boy, oh boy, I was over at the Vol Fanatics show earlier today, Chris.
How's Michael taking this?
They are taking it rather well.
Yeah, they're just running him down and calling him a piece of trash.
Well, I mean, I walked in and I said, I finally am able to pronounce your quarterback's last name. All this time I had so much trouble pronouncing his last name. All I needed to do was understand that he was a leaving. Nico Iamaleava. Now I've got it, man. Now I completely understand it. $2 million quarterback, led Tennessee to the college football playoff, came into the horseshoe, got his helmet cracked, and then he got his heart broken because he's not going to be making $4 million in Knoxville, Tennessee. They said, no can do, no dice, Nico. We're not gonna make you a $4 million quarterback. You can just leave, I guess. And he said, all right, I'm gonna take my ball and I'm gonna go home. Sounds like to me he's coming out to the West Coast. Probably gonna be in the Big Ten this year, guys. I hope he goes to UCLA. You know why?
Because we gotta just run him over again.
We can crack that helmet again. That's what I told those boys. Shaun, your initial reaction to someone basically demanding double in NIL or I'm going to leave. Your initial reaction on Nico.
See ya. I'm glad that the coach stood up and said, we're not going to give you the money. I think that's wrong for him to go in there and do that. It'd have been different if I could see maybe if he would have played to it when they were not paying him good at all, but to go in there and demand double and you had a subpar, maybe a mid-level season, that's just great. That kid's listening to the wrong people for sure. Or he just thinks he's way better than what he is.
Chris?
I'm with Shaun. I understand betting on yourself. I do. But let me tell you, the guy, I wasn't sold on him. I said that before we did our Tennessee preview, Eric. I wasn't sold on the guy then. I'm not sold on him now. I definitely am not sold on him for $4 million. I don't think that this guy is a $4 million quarterback. The numbers don't justify it. He only had 2,600 yards passing. He had 19-5 touchdown to interception ratio. It wasn't great. And yes, he took Tennessee or was part of the Tennessee team that made that playoff run. But you know what? When you may try to make yourself bigger than the team, I've got a problem with that. And that's what it feels like he was doing. He was trying to make himself bigger than the team. And then the worst thing he possibly could have done is he then turned his back on his team by not showing up for practices. I don't want him here. He's a me guy, not a team guy.
Okay, we're going to get there, Chris. Michael's in the chat. He said, no one person, including myself, is bigger than the program as a whole. That's a quote from Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel. Love the quote. I love that quote. If this was one of the quarterbacks at Ohio State, and that's what Ryan Day said, I'd be 100% behind Ryan Day on that. Cory, your thoughts?
Just going to point out a couple things. Dan Lanning, who has never met a transfer he doesn't like, apparently, rumor is that he called Heupel saying, "Hey, your quarterback's shopping around." If that rumor's true, that blows me away because this is Oregon. It literally is there's a kicker on the board. Let's go get him. I don't care. Third string, they go pay for everybody. And Mario Cristobal criticized it. Again, another program that loves shelling out. It just tells me that the behavior behind this. I know TG's saying it's the father. If it's the father, it's the father. But whoever it is, whoever he's listening to and moving on based on that advice, I think it's kind of disgusting how this transpired from the initial reaction. Now, maybe details come out where Tennessee promised him something and didn't deliver. I don't know. So maybe some more stuff will come out. But he needs to do some damage control because I don't think there's anybody in college football who looks at what happened, how this transpired, and says, "Oh, good job, Nico." I agree with Chris. Betting on yourself is a good thing, but the timing of it is like, come on. You're missing practices. This is middle of spring, and all of a sudden you're saying, "I want double." You're basically trying to hold the team program hostage. And I can't stand that because I understand there's NFL players who hold out sometimes, but these are guys who have a market value of like $230 million and they're getting maybe, $10 million, which again is a lot of money still. But if you're not getting anywhere close to your market value and the team is being difficult in negotiations with you, I can understand holding out, saying, look, this is wrong. But what he did, the way he did it in college sports, no less, I understand NIL is a huge part of it and we're becoming NFL light. It's just I think it's going to start driving fans away if Tennessee had just caved into it. I'm actually so proud, and I'm saying this as a Buckeye fan, proud of Josh Heupel, proud of Tennessee for saying enough's enough. We give you so much money to play college football, and we give you a platform that's going to expand and advance your life beyond your wildest dreams, and this is how you're paying us back. We give you $2 million, is a lot of money. We're willing to renegotiate, but then you obviously want to skip practice to hold out. It's basically like he's saying, I just want out. Just leave me out, and not doing it in a very proper way. So proud of Tennessee, proud of Josh Heupel. That was good for college football, what they did.
Yeah, I shot a video on this earlier today, actually this morning, that posted this afternoon, and for once I actually agreed with Uncle Lou, which I hardly ever agree with Uncle Lou, and he basically jumped right in and was supporting Tennessee fans on this one, and he brought up a really interesting comment. He's like, "Look, you agreed to come to Tennessee to be a student athlete, to get a scholarship. And oh, by the way, you earned $2 million in NIL. Go to practice, young man.
Yeah.
Like this isn't the NFL. This is
Yep.
college football. Go to practice. If you ask for more and they don't give it to you, you know, tough luck. I guess you just go to the portal." The way he went about this seems icky. It seems very dirty. It seems like a player, like the Bengals have had this. It's one of the reasons why I hate the NFL. It's one of the reasons why I just never get into the NFL. Is it's no longer about the sport. It's a job now. It's a career. It's professional. And I love the amateurism of college football. And you're right, Corey. We are going down that NFL light path really fast here, man. And this is just another one of those instances where I'm like, gosh darn it, why do we have to be like this? You know what I mean? Um, you know, my dad brought up a really interesting comparison. He said this feels a lot like the was it Lamar Ball? Was that who that guy was?
Yeah.
Their dad, everything. Incredibly, absolutely. Yeah, stealing practice? We're talking practice? Yeah, exactly. Spring ball? We're talking spring ball? That's Corey's press conference. Corey, we're gonna do a spring game. Spring ball? We're talking spring ball? Man, come on, man.
That's when they ask me if I'm concerned about the defense.
You know, the sad part about all this, guys, is, this really all started, this whole mess, this kind of, I don't know, this dark hole we've started to delve into here, all started a few years back when players started setting out bowl games. Then we move on to the transfer portal. And now this mess with the NIL. And it's not going to stop. It's just this is going to be a regular happening, is the sad part.
Yep.
You're going to start seeing the equivalent of holdouts and trade demands for all intents and purposes. That's what this is. It's the equivalent of a holdout and a trade demand. And that's what we're going to see. And Corey alluded to it, and Eric, you mentioned it as well. That's one of the big things that people hate about the NFL. And we actually, I was talking on Facebook earlier with Jimmy Bell, and we were going down this very path. He goes, "Would you have this same take if this was your favorite NFL player?" And I said to him, "Jimmy, I don't have a favorite NFL player. You can't. I root for the name on the front of the jersey, not the one on the back, because it changes so often."
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're headed. And it's sad, but I really feel like that's where we're headed.
Well, Chris, let me put this to you then. What if it were Jeremiah Smith? How would you react to it? And I'm being sincere in that question. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here.
How I would be mad as hell.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad as hell about that. Here's the thing. I think Eric touched on it a lot too, though, with the way he went about the breakup was wrong. Nobody's saying you can't break up, but be classy about it. And someone in the chat alluded to this earlier. When you mentioned the father possibly being involved, this feels very much like the icky breakup that Kyle McCord had with Ohio State.
Similar.
So,
Yeah, I think
it wasn't really a money situation; it was a playing time situation. But still the same idea.
When dads get involved, right? When dads and this is, and I don't want to jump on a soapbox here, but I will. But there used to be a day and a time in this country when you were 18-year-old. When you were an 18-year-old, you were considered a man.
Yeah.
And we raised you to be a man at 18. You were raised to be a man at 18. If you could go and die in war for your country at 18, then you needed to be ready to do that as a man. And now we call them 21-year-old kids.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing, you know what I mean? Now, someone did give me a little bit of pushback. They said, "Look, man, we live in a free society where if your value is such and they're not willing to give it, but someone else is, man, it's a free market. And I get that, but whatever happened to your commitment?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Honoring your word. Yeah.
And again, this is an issue where the NCAA has failed to put guardrails in place, and now we are living in the mess. And this happens all the time in a lot of things in our culture and society. You go from one extreme all the way to the other extreme. And there is a happy medium in this world that exists in a lot of situations. And there could be a happy medium in college football where the players are reimbursed financially for their efforts, for what they are earning the universities. But my gosh, to go from you will get in trouble if someone hands you a Coke, literally that's where we were 15 years ago, to guess what?
Or cheeseburger.
I can make Chris. I can make $4 million. Oh, we're only going to pay you $2. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, we're essentially doing this without contracts.
Yes.
That's the scary part. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all because the universities do not want to make these people employees.
Now, how would these kids feel if the the school said, "Hey, you didn't play well this year. We're taking half our money back."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's basically,
The next step from this, Shaun, is literally in NIL deals. If you leave, you have to reimburse. Yeah, you will get this much, and you are promised this much. But if you leave, you're gonna, that's what's coming in these contracts, in these NIL deals. $5 super chat. I just donated $100 to 2nd and 7 so I can get it doubled by the bank. Add $200 to the tailgate total. I almost forgot. My bad. Who wants to match me? Wow. Thank you, Bobby Mack, man. That is a fantastic. 2nd and 7 absolutely appreciates your donation. I hope there's a place on there for you to put that this is for the OHIO podcast and the tailgate, man. I hope that you were able to tell that to him. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, and yeah, let me just stress this since Michael's in the chat. Vol Fanatics, man, they go 6:00 Eastern every Sunday over there on their YouTube channel. They're part of the College Huddle, so they're our sister podcast, man. So awesome to have Michael with us tonight. All right, here we go. This is where I'm going to ruffle feathers, man. I saw this out there on the internet. I almost blew a gasket.
The interwebs.
Nico, top 3 teams that he could go to are Oregon, Colorado, and Ohio State. And I was like, you have got to, and then I kid you not, go look this up. Sports Illustrated Ohio State. One of the you know what I'm talking about, Chris. One of the writers, he's on the freaking beat, wrote this would be great for Ohio State to get Nico. I almost
blew
a moron.
A gasp. What a moron.
If it comes out that Ohio State is invited Nico to Ohio State and are looking at him, I have to seriously question what Ryan Day is doing here. I am not for that at all. Chris, go for it. You seem like you are on the same boat as me.
Eric, there's no way I want this guy in an Ohio State locker room. He's a me guy, not a team guy. The one thing that Ryan Day, for all my criticisms of Ryan Day, the one thing that Ryan Day has always done was he has went out and he has recruited character. He has recruited the right guys to help advance this program. This guy is not the right guy to help advance this program.
Now hold on. To be fair, Chris, sounds like it's more his dad than him, but I digress.
You know what?
You get the kid, you get the family.
He's old enough he can make his own decisions right now. So here's the thing. Nico, I'm not questioning his talent. I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he's probably a top 25 quarterback. Or could at least play for a top 25 team. Let's go that way. He could play for a top 25 team. He's that talented of a quarterback. But he's not got the right character and mental makeup, I don't believe, for this team. So for anyone, especially somebody associated with the team on the beat, to say this would be a great idea is absolutely asinine. There's no other way to put it. It's moronic. Why would you screw up the culture of a national championship winning team?
Bingo.
Why would you undermine the confidence of Julian Sayin, who's got all this promise, of Tavion Sinclair, who's got all this promise, of Lincoln Keenholz, who's been a great character guy and has shown massive improvement? Why would you screw with their confidence to bring in a guy who is merely average? Because let's call it what it is. This great year he had last year, 63.8% completion rating, 2,600 yards passing, 19 TDs, 5 touchdowns. I'm sorry, 19 TDs, 5 interceptions. Fairly pedestrian numbers. And you're willing to screw up a locker room that's coming off a national championship for that? No, absolutely not. Let him go out where he belongs. Let him go to Coach Clown out in Colorado. They'd be wonderful for each other. That's all.
Shaun.
I agree with Chris. I think the only way they would have brought him here is if our quarterback room would have been trash. But I mean, like Ryan Day always says, when they bring a guy in from the portal, they have to make sure they're the right culture fit, and he's definitely not the right culture fit. I mean, it's just like having another Kyle McCord incident, and that's not going to happen. I mean, we see that he has plenty of faith in Julian, and Tavion's. You know, you can see that he's got the potential. He just needs the time because he's so young. No sense in trying to bring this clown in that would destroy your locker room.
Cory.
I think we should bring him. No, I'm kidding.
You're gonna make my blood. You're gonna make Ryan Day's beard come out with the Podfather's blood pressure picture again.
I would take Gunnar Hoke over him. I'd take Joe Bowserman this year over Nico. Because I think again, if it's his father, it's his father. You get the kid, you get the family. It is what it is. He may be a good kid, but he's making bad decisions, or in the way he's making them. You bring in a $4 million quarterback in when you've recruited Lincoln Keenholz was a high 4-star when you got him. Tavion's a 5-star. Julian transfer here's a 5-star, and you're telling them you all are not good enough. This guy who we don't trust you, so we're going to bring in a $4 million quarterback. I would take a lousy quarterback at Ohio State this year instead of a guy who's going to completely wreck the culture, and he has the potential to do that. I think Ryan Day, one thing you can't dispute is he's built a good culture at Ohio State. You just can't. Whether he's lost against Michigan. Yes, he's lost some big games and things like that. But he's built, like Chris said, he gains character kids. We don't have to be embarrassed by anybody on this program. Jeremiah Smith, G. Scott Sr. said it on Twitter. Jeremiah Smith, arguably your best player on the team. We could all agree there, right? And yet he's the hardest worker. What does that say about your culture? Do not even bring anybody who's giving ultimatums to teams in the middle of spring practice before the day before spring game to double his money to come to our program. Absolutely freaking not. I would go with a young Tavion St. Clair if that was our only option, and go through the bumps in the road with a young quarterback, and maybe not even make the playoffs because of it, but let him grow. I'd rather see him grow than go with a $4 million locker room wrecker.
Well said, Cory. Well said. Devil's Advocate by Will Buck. What is the difference from Nico and Carson Beck? Carson Beck had a multi-million-dollar model as a girlfriend in Miami at the time.
I feel like Carson was also forced out of Georgia a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Time, he says, is it all about the timing? Kinda, but
timing's not good.
Yeah, the timing is not good in this situation at all. It's not. Let's see. Burks is saying, no way does he go to Michigan. They paid every dime for Underwood. I almost called him underwear. Sorry.
I will say this as a Buckeye fan, you go with Underwood over that guy any day, because Underwood, you got him there. He's your guy now. Go with him. Do not. Don't. Oh no! You know what? Actually, bring him in. Bring Nico in.
We'll crack his helmet again.
$5 super chat from Bobby Mack. Nico can't transfer during the spring portal to another SEC per their bylaws. This is true. I learned this tonight on the Vol Fanatics show. So he has more limited options. He's a West Coast guy. So he's going back to the West Coast. I'm pretty confident in that.
I agree. USC, UCLA, somewhere in there.
Doozy says Nico to Ohio State is only for clicks. It better be.
Yeah.
It absolutely better be. Mika,
We all know Ryan Day. There's no way.
Mika, yes. She says my dad says I need $4 million too. Yes, Mika, you
Right?
do need $4 million. You do. You're worth every penny of that, girl. Let's see here. Let's see. What else did we say? TG says I don't want Nico, but for all I've heard about Nico from within Tennessee, he is a great leader, loved by his teammates, and had great character. The problem is his family, mainly his father, ruining him. Did you see what his father called that reporter who was reporting on it? Called him the B word. And then it comes out and he leaves. Like, that reporter, in all honesty, should go after that dad and be like,
I'll say it again. You get the kid, you get the family. I mean, maybe it's not him. Maybe not Nico isn't maybe Nico isn't what's described by what's happening right now. But if his father's that much of a dominant force, please God, stay away from Columbus.
all right, Mike. I just saw where Michael said, check my previous comment. I think he's talking about this one. For your information, that post you were referring to was originally done by Richard G. West, who's a fake news reporter in Knoxville to get clicks and follows. Actually, it's a different writer. He writes for Sports Illustrated Ohio State.
Well, then Sports Illustrated needs to get a new Ohio State beat writer.
Yeah.
Who was that? Did anybody say his name?
I did not. I just Google it up.
I don't. I'm too lazy. Forget
it. Let's see.
He's come too far, Eric.
Okay, so now that we have that question thoroughly answered by everybody, Bootzilla, I heard that he can transfer to another SEC school, but both schools would have to agree. Not sure how accurate that is. There's zero chance Tennessee's going to agree to that. Zero, unless he who's the bottom dweller of the SEC?
Maybe
now?
If he gives them their money back.
Mississippi State. I don't know. Like who? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, TG.
I don't know. Tennessee Heupel might want to play him.
You know what? I got some
see that.
serious respect for Heupel from this man.
Yeah.
Heupel was fired up, man. I
mean,
can see that.
Bobby Hill's doing good over there.
I said, dang it, Bob, I'm proud of you, son. Dude, Vandy's too good now, guys. They were what, 6-6 last year? I don't know. They beat Bama. Yeah.
Bobby Mac's right, by the way. We got some classy families that came into this freshman class. The Pettijohns, the Sanchez's.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pop's Pod on Friday nights on the Buckeye Boys. Check it out. Two of the dads, they get together. They talk to the parents. Man, it's a great show. Devin he swung for the fences and hit a jackpot on that show. But yeah, we do. We've got great. Shaun's interviewed some of the parents.
Yeah.
We've got class act people. I got a story for you on parents real quick, guys. So y'all remember Master Teague the Third?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know why Master Teague the Third is such a great human being?
Because his name is Master?
Master Teague the Second. That's why.
Right.
Carl and I met his father at the shoe, and he took time out to speak to us. The man was carrying his Bible into the game. And he said, I'll talk to anybody about Jesus. That's why Master Teague the Third is the way he is, because he was raised by that man. We've got some incredible parents.
Eric, did Master Teague the Second also look like he could body slam a Buick?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Is there any like wonder as to how we had such a revival, a revival within the program as far as Christian behavior and things like that? When you see guys like Master Teague and CJ Stroud kind of helped build that following that took place in the last year.
Yeah.
And G. Scott Jr. and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shaun, you talked to his dad, didn't you?
G. Scott Sr. Oh, what a great guy, man. Guy's amazing. And I tell you what, just from some of the recruits that we've talked to on the Buckeye Boys, it just seems Ohio State doesn't only recruit great players. They recruit great people. I mean, these kids are so mature. I mean, it's shocking. When I was that age, I not even in the same league with those kids, man. I mean, they're very, humble, classy, and it's nice to see.
It is. It's refreshing, is what it is. It's 100% refreshing. Well, unfortunately, guys, you know what this signals, this show. We enter the absolute worst time to be a college football fan.
Amen to that.
Oh my gosh.
We'll find creative ways to fill this time and keep people entertained, Eric.
From this moment until the end of July at Big Ten Media Days, we have entered basically everybody coming up with top 10 lists and talking about recruiting.
Don't forget Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, the Mount Rushmores. Yeah, you got it right. It's hard, but I've got good news for everybody.
We're starting a cappella group.
The OHIO podcast quartet is making their debut down at the local barber shop.
Nice.
Next week we will be doing our annual draft show. This will be a first for Cory. He's gonna hate this even more than spring ball. I can already tell.
Absolutely.
We predict where every Buckeye is going to be drafted, and it makes the draft more fun. It just does. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Skeeter's going to be our guest next week, guys, from the Woodswater Mizzou podcast, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you're going to want to come and check that out so that you can see how wrong we're going to be at the draft. And then here's the good news. We've got a lot more people this year than we did last year who are in the chat and interacting with us. So we're going to invite all of you to participate with us in this, and the winner's going to get a pretty sweet gift. From Chris and I. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So don't miss that. And then coming up in April, I've got some former Buckeyes lined up to join us on Sunday nights. So we're going to start interviewing some former Buckeyes on Sunday nights if we can get them to come on to talk about their recruitment, their careers, what they're doing these days, things like that. And Ryan Miller, my cousin, has got some pretty amazing interviews for Chris and I in the works, man, that quite frankly, you guys are not going to believe. Yeah, just unbelievable. $2 super chat from Bobby Mack. Don't forget me beating Cory guessing on the over-unders. Yes. So
over-under for what again? What was this again?
We're going to predict the over-unders when they come out. Bobby, are we trying to predict what the over-unders are going to be, or are we going to predict the over-unders for the season? Clarify that for me.
But what the over-unders are going to be.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that.
That's kind of my thing, isn't it, Eric? I mean, I nailed how many last year?
You nailed, what was it, 8 out of 18 or more?
No, I think it was like 12 out of 18. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And like the first 4 or 5 in a row I nailed.
Andre, what did Mike Wargo think about the spring showcase game yesterday? I didn't talk to him after the game. Did you, Chris?
I actually sat with him during the entire game.
Oh,
he sat with me and John during the entire game.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And he was excited about what he saw. And again, he liked the offensive line. He liked the run game. He didn't say a lot about the defense, but the defense was kind of blah, like we've all touched on. So, but he seemed to really enjoy it. He's excited for this team, for this upcoming season. Excited for us to make our way to Pittsburgh again. So,
he's more likely going to be our first guest in May. So, yeah, you'll be able to ask him that yourself, Andre, because he'll be on here, man.
Unless we're partying before then, Eric.
True. What we need to do is I want to make a bet with Burks. And if the hammer falls, Burks has to meet us in Pittsburgh for that party.
That'd be great.
You got to describe what the hammer is. Get this in writing.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to make a bet on what the punishment will be, and if we're right, then Burks has got to come to Pittsburgh with us for the party for that.
Oh, come on. Ryan Daysbeard's over here harassing me, saying it's too good to sit with you guys. Now, first of all, we went over ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Me and John walked over with Mike while you guys were still back there. And we went up to the top there, and I saw you guys flag me over. But let me tell you, by the time that me and Mike had already pulled ourselves up to the top row of C deck,
Oh,
our knees were not taking us anywhere else. And then after we got up there, my son looks at me and goes, "Hey, we probably should have got drinks before we came up." So he and I walked back down and got everything. By the way, let me tell you, there's nothing like buying a $14 Diet Coke.
Yeah. The price for your ticket for the spring game was less than a drink.
Yeah, it was $14 for a Diet Coke.
The vendors know they got you.
Yeah, the price is there. I've seen people complaining. I'm going to talk about that on a little video later this week. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the spring game, why there weren't more people there, how much it cost. Let me tell you something. The only thing that was out of control was the concessions pricing. Everything else, man, you couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, agreed. Ryan Days chips, Eric, you freaked. It was what? That's right. When Sarah told me the price of it, I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Sarah got 2 drinks, 2 pretzels and cheese. And I think I can't remember. It was $40.
Yeah, mine was, I got 2 Diet Cokes, 1 for me, 1 for Wargo, 2 bottles of water, 1 for me, 1 for my son, 2 dogs, and a burger. $74.
What are you laughing at, Cory?
$40.
Yes. It was 40.
I'd have middle fingered him and left. Jeez. Are you out of your minds?
$40.
I paid.
Did you
more
get these from China or something? Is that why?
No, there were some tariffs going on over at the shoe man.
I paid more for the concessions than I paid for the Blackstone we cooked on, Eric.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. 4 waters and 2 orders of pretzels was $40.
Hey, water's expensive. It's a very rare commodity.
So the pretzels were $10 an order because the bottled waters were $5.
There you go. Now, I will say this. Sarah and I both agreed that those pretzels and cheese were really good, but they better be for $40, man. Like, that's less than you would spend at Texas Roadhouse for a meal of 2.
Yeah, you get steak for crying
out
loud. Jeez.
And rolls. Wow.
Yeah.
Them pretzels better be magical. They better help me lose weight.
They're unicorn poop.
All I'm going to say is Bobby Mac's gift helped me cope with the depression of what I spent.
Oh.
I'd be like, Eric, I'd love to donate, but I'm broke.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. Anyways, guys, be on the lookout the next couple days. I've got 2 videos in the kitty waiting for you guys. I've been sitting on these videos for a long time. And tomorrow and Tuesday will be that day. I need to go finish packing and edit this and finish packing, get ready to leave tomorrow morning for Chicago. I'm on my way to Chicago. And then I'll be back hopefully Thursday for the call-in show. Chris will be doing the call-in show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. And
looks like Burks is going to be on to visit with us.
It appears that Burks and Chris will be going at round number 2 tomorrow night. Cory's working on getting a show together with him and Dylan Kuhn talking about Purdue and Ohio State through the years. I'm seriously interested in watching that one. Dennis says, Eric, did you smoke those cigars yet? No, not yet. I was going to smoke one yesterday, but I wasn't sure how everybody at the tailgate would appreciate that or not, so I declined. I've got them waiting for me to smoke on the back porch on my new glider that we bought. That's how old I'm getting. I got a glider, Cory, for the back porch.
You should just like, who cares what everybody else saying? Smoke your cigar, man.
Well,
there's actually enough people there that somebody might have been bothered by it yesterday.
Let them be
we had-
bothered.
It wasn't like the past where we actually had some space. I mean, we were pretty crowded there at some points.
Yeah. Bobby Max asking if I finished the bourbon yet. Not yet, but I'll show this for everybody. He delivered that to us yesterday, the OHO podcast. So,
Man. Yes, you think he finished it from yesterday? Wait, man, what kind of alcoholic you think Eric is?
yeah, it was great.
Eric passes out mid-podcast.
Was it Sarah's boyfriend? Did he get into it? Is that what happened?
Only the people who were there yesterday even understand what that joke is all about. But anyways, I would thank Shaun for swinging by tonight, but he said,
bailed on us again.
He said peace out. So yeah. Anyways, he'll probably jump in back. There he is. Shaun, thanks for stopping in with us tonight, buddy. We appreciate having you with us, buddy. Nope, not yet. Nothing yet.
That's it.
Can you hear us, Shaun?
Yeah, sorry. Everything froze up on me. My bad.
No problem, man. Thanks for swinging by and being a part of the show tonight, man.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Awesome. It was good having you guys. Thanks for everybody in the chat tonight. Great job, everybody. If you haven't yet, smash the like button on your way out. Well over 100 people still. We were over 100 most of the show tonight. It's awesome to have all of you. Again, thank you so much, everybody who came to the tailgate. Be on the lookout in a couple days. We'll drop the tailgate video for all of you. Again, Chris, tell Bobby thank you for all her hard work and your daughter for grilling up those dogs. It was awesome.
Did you save me any? Because I'm kind of hungry.
Well, a funny story about that, Cory.
Oh my gosh, there's a story here.
I had a little problem. I overate yesterday, man. All I know is them dogs that I ate were somewhere in the teens.
Hey, Joey Chestnut would be proud.
Yeah, well, my wife says that we should have a summer get together, and part of one of the things we should do is a hot dog eating contest.
Oh.
I think Bogsy's on board up there. Look at that. Look at that.
After he's had a little bit of that bourbon, maybe.
That's right. Hot dogs and bourbon.
This sounds like a really bad combination.
Would you prefer going with chicken wings instead?
Just no eating competitions, man. I'm not.
Come on,
I'm
you
not
know you
down
can
for
do
that.
it. We'll do it for charity.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for everybody. Great show tonight. Appreciate you. Chris, tomorrow night, check out the channel every single day. A lot of videos coming your way. And then we'll be back here, hopefully back from Chicago by the end of the week on Thursday. Appreciate all of you. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH in Carmen, Ohio with all your heart. Till next time. OH!
I owe.
Go Bucks!
Go Bucks.